the moment none of us have been waiting for.
Wow. Whoa. That is some group of people. Thousands. So nice. Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen.
You know, the final votes for last week's midterm elections are still being counted, but the race for 2024 has already begun. Donald Trump made a big announcement tonight at Mar-a-Lago, surrounded by dozens of his closest friends and thousands of classified documents. And here it was.
Ever wondered what it's like to party with Trump? Imagine paying $1,000 for a ticket, only to find yourself surrounded by fewer people than at Eric Trump's birthday bash. Talk about a huge letdown. In this video, we're taking you inside Trump's New Year's Eve fiasco at Mar-a-Lago. From overpriced tickets to underwhelming guests,
I am officially announcing that Eric is potty trained.
Well, good for him. That is a big announcement.
got the scoop on why this party was more fake news than tremendous success. Stick around to find out why even Trump's family might have needed a loan to attend. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much.
Officially launched yet another campaign for president in a bid to become the first American to lose the popular vote 3 times in a row. There was some speculation that he might be announcing something else tonight. You know, there have been a lot of times. You know, it's not easy to potty train when you're almost 40. It's an accomplishment. The other big announcement is happening after we tape our show, but by all accounts, Trump is expected to... Trump said something was going to be big, and it wasn't. Just ask Stormy Daniels. Sadly, that did not appear to be the case. Trump has been reportedly interviewing staffers for his campaign.
Now back to the video. Trump's New Year's bash at Mar-a-Lago was supposed to be the party of the century, but it turned out to be more of a flop than his hair in a strong wind. The ticket prices skyrocketed from $575 to a whopping $1,000. Talk about inflation. I guess Trump thought his party was worth more than a stimulus check. Picture this. You've just forked over $1,000 expecting to rub elbows with the cream of the MAGA crop, but as you walk in, you realize the place is emptier than Eric Trump's piggy bank after Daddy cuts his allowance. The ballroom, which Trump probably claimed could fit a huge crowd, had more hot air than actual guests.
Main person, he wants to have multiple people because he has a tendency to fire campaign managers. I guess he wants them to compete. I don't know. This guy doesn't want to be president. He wants to host The Apprentice again. That is the show, which is fun to imagine. This is the only job interview where they want to make sure you are crazy before they hire you. They say that he's looking for more than one campaign manager instead of just one. Meanwhile, many prominent Republicans are moving to distance themselves from Trump after the midterm election. A group of current and former Republican governors had a meeting this morning. Chris Christie got a big round of applause for a speech blasting Trump. He said Trump weighed the party down.
It's like someone forgot to send out the invitations. Or maybe they did, and people just didn't show up. Trump being Trump couldn't help but brag about the tremendous turnout and the classiest party ever. But in reality, it was more like a sad family reunion where half the relatives didn't bother to come. The contrast between Trump's claims and the actual scene was starker than the difference between his natural skin tone and his spray tan. As the night wore on, the desperation became palpable. There were whispers that Trump was so hard up for attendees, he might have tried to charge his own family to fill the seats. Can you imagine Ivanka frantically searching for her credit card while Don Jr. checks his couch cushions for loose change? By the end of the night, guests were probably wondering if they could get a refund on their MAGA hats, let alone their overpriced tickets. Some were even seen sneaking out early, probably to hit up the local McDonald's for a more exciting New Year's celebration. But wait, folks, it gets worse. The night was just getting started, and Trump had more tricks up his sleeve to make this party one for the history books.
A lot of Republicans wish that this monster they helped create would go away, but he just keeps coming back. He's like herpes. Once your party has him, you can't get rid of him. Across all 3 election cycles, Trump is like, I weighed the party down. You're the one banned from the hometown buffet, buddy.
or at least one for the late-night comedy shows. Stick around to hear about the star-studded entertainment that was about as A-list as a community theater production of The Apprentice the Musical. Remember when Trump promised he'd have the best people? Well, apparently that applies to his parties too. But instead of Hollywood royalty, we got the court jesters of MAGA land. Picture this: Kid Rock belting out his greatest hit, yes, singular, while Rudy Giuliani attempts to do the YMCA. It's a sight that would make even the most devoted Trump fan question their life choices. Trump's idea of a party is like his presidency: all show, no substance. He promised a star-studded event with A-list celebrities, but the guest list read more like a "who's that" of D-list hangers-on. I mean, when Kid Rock and Rudy Giuliani are your headliners, you know you're scraping the bottom of the celebrity barrel. It's like Trump was playing Celebrity Apprentice with the rejects from Dancing with the Stars. But the real showstopper was Trump himself. Grumpy Trumpy treated his captive audience to a 30-minute speech that was about as coherent as a game of telephone played by drunk toddlers. He rambled on about rigged elections and witch hunts, probably thinking he was giving the Gettysburg Address 2.0, but in reality, it was more like a live reading of his greatest Twitter hits. You know, if Twitter hadn't kicked him off for being a naughty boy. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get any worse, Rudy, I'm a lawyer, not a singer, Giuliani decided to grace us with his vocal stylings. Picture this: Rudy belting out YMCA like he's auditioning for America's Got No Talent, while Trump nods off faster than he does during intelligence briefings. It was a karaoke disaster of epic proportions, folks. The Village people are probably filing a cease and desist as we speak. As the clock inched towards midnight, guests started sneaking out faster than Trump's lawyers after a deposition. They say rats flee a sinking ship, but in this case, it was sensible humans fleeing a sinking party. Trump, ever the narcissist, claimed everyone loved his speech, saying, "They said, sir, we need you more than ever." Yeah, right. The only thing they needed was the nearest exit. As the clock struck 12, the only thing dropping at Trump's party was everyone's expectations. But hey, at least we didn't waste $1,000 on this circus. Sometimes the best party is the one where Trump isn't invited. And on that note, Happy New Year, folks. May your year be as free of Trump as this party was of actual celebrities. Well, folks, as the confetti settled at Mar-a-Lago, it seems the only thing that dropped at midnight was everyone's expectations. Trump's New Year's bash turned out to be less yuuuge and more yuuuge. But hey, let's look on the bright side. We didn't waste $1,000 on this circus. Instead, we got to watch the train wreck from the comfort of our couches, probably having way more fun than anyone at that snooze fest. Remember, sometimes the best party is the one where Trump isn't invited, so next New Year's Eve, maybe skip the overpriced tickets and inflated egos. Stick to your own living room, where the only fake news is your resolution to hit the gym every day. At least there, you won't have to pretend to enjoy Rudy Giuliani's karaoke skills. Now that's something to celebrate.